This is the all-new Mercedes-Benz EQE SUV, and you can buy it right here in India for a starting price of 1.4 crore ex-showroom. That makes this EQE SUV almost 40 lakh rupees more than the range-topping version of the GLE. So why should you pay attention to this EQE SUV? Well, that's what we'll be telling you over the course of this video. Welcome back to CarWale. I'm Bilal and we are in this beautiful valley of Kashmir to drive this all-new EQE SUV. We begin with the design and platform first. So you know the EQC, which was the first electric Mercedes, and the EQB after that, which is still on sale in India, they both went a born EV. They were based on a platform which is shared with the ICE counterparts. But this, the EQE SUV, it's based on a new dedicated EV platform which is called as EVA. And therefore, it comes with all the benefits that a dedicated electric platform brings with it. In terms of street presence, the EQE SUV has got plenty. It grabs attention and commands respect. Even if it might not look imposing or large in metal, the details all around makes it feel special. Like the ribbon style LED details on the tail lamps. And there are 9 color options that you can choose for the EQE SUV in India. The EQ familiarities are seen all around, be it the headlamps, the connected tail lamps, the seamless sheet metal or the large 20-inch chunky wheels. It is instantly recognizable as a Mercedes-Benz EQ model. So what do you think of this EQ design of the Mercedes EV family? Sure, it makes it very recognizable, but it also creates a confusion that whether this is an EQE SUV or an EQS SUV. Well, let us know your opinion in the comment section below. Now the cabin of an EV should make you feel special, right? And I have had a mixed experience with all the EVs that I've driven before. But this is a Mercedes-Benz EV. So what you get here is a Hyperscreen. There are 3 massive screens right here on the dashboard. There's a highly configurable driver's display. Then there's a big infotainment system which runs the latest MBUX system. And there's also a screen for the passenger. Now, this being an EV, there's no physical gearbox down below, so you have more space for, under the center console. There's space right here in the center console for 2 cup holders to place your smartphone. There's also a wireless charger right underneath it. You also get 2 USB ports here, but these are Type-C ports. More storage options are seen under the driver's armrest. Then we come to the cabin. Now you get 2 upholsteries here. What you see here is the all black cabin. It looks nice and it won't get dirty, but it makes the cabin feel less spacious than it actually is. The other option is an all-white upholstery, but it will definitely get dirty quite soon. Now coming back to the MBUX screen, it's large, but still it is quite manageable even when you're driving it. Even the top left corner of the screen, you have good reach to it. Even when you are sitting lower down or when you're driving, when you're focusing on the road, you can still reach out to all the buttons. And this screen in itself, it feels like those sci-fi controls that you see for a spaceship in movies. And then you can also control this screen through buttons on a steering wheel. And the all configurable driver's display, it can be controlled through buttons on the right side of the steering wheel. But these are capacitive touches which aren't very good to use, especially when driving. Now quickly getting inside the second row, which isn't very easy because of the wide and tall door sill, but thankfully Mercedes has given a step for you to get inside. Now once inside, you have good leather upholstery that you get up front, and then the space at the back is also nice for 3 people. There's a big panoramic sunroof and good enough legroom and headroom for my frame. You also get a 2-zone climate control for the second row, and otherwise it's a nice place to be in. Lastly, the boot space here is large and quite usable, but it is eaten up by a spare wheel. The 1.4 crore that you pay for the EQE 500 gets you a lot of hardware and creature comfort. Apart from the Hyperscreen, you get heads-up display, a smartphone connectivity. The seats have 3-stage ventilation and heating, along with 8 types of massage functions. There's 4-zone climate control with inbuilt air purifier, a 360-degree camera, a large panoramic glass roof, electrically adjustable front seats with memory function, electrically adjustable steering column, a highly configurable ambient lighting along with an extensively detailed driver's display. And there's 710 watts, 15 speakers Burmester sound system as well. You also get ride height adjustable air suspension and a dedicated off-road mode for the screen, which shows you different off-road angles and a transparent bonnet view of under the car. In terms of safety, the EQE SUV has 9 airbags with many ADAS hardware. Mercedes India is also offering 10 years and 2.5 lakh kilometers of battery warranty, along with 2 years and 30,000 kilometers of service interval. Now, behind the wheel of the EQE SUV, but let's get the numbers out of the way first. So, Mercedes-Benz India has launched the EQE in just one version, which is the EQE 500 4MATIC, which means there are two motors, one on each axle, where they both combined put out more than 400 horsepower and around 850 Newton meters. Mercedes claims that the 0 to 100 km per hour for this mammoth SUV, which is weighing over 2.5 tons, is very brisk at 4.9 seconds. And at full tilt, it would go more than 200 km per hour of top speed. Now, as for the battery pack, this one gets a 90.5 kilowatt hour unit, which has a claim range of 550 kilometers. Mercedes-Benz India is selling an 11 kilowatt AC fast charger with the car, free of course, but the car has a fast charging capacity of around 170 kilowatt DC fast charging, which can juice it up from 0 to 80% in less than an hour. Now, we have tested the EQS as well as the EQB through a CarWale real world range test, and we found out that both these cars, the real world range was quite close to the claim figures, almost 75 to 80%, and we expect the EQE SUV won't be any different. So the real world range, what I am guessing right now, should be around 450 kilometers. But we will be testing the EQE SUV through a CarWale range test as well, so stay tuned for the figures. Now, we have been driving the EQE SUV since morning on tight twisties of Gulmarg, and surprisingly the visibility is quite nice. Despite this tall dashboard, the thick A-pillar and a narrow rear windscreen, you still have good visibility all around. The car tends to wrap around you, which was not expected of cars this size, and even when going around tight turns, it doesn't feel very ungainly. It's only when you try to push it around the corners too hard you feel it's 2.5 tons of weight, but otherwise the controls are nice, the steering is quick, it goes 2.5 turns lock to lock, and in comfort mode that we have been driving so far, it has got nice weight to it. It's not very light, it's not very heavy either. And then you switch from comfort mode to sport mode via this dynamic button, and everything changes. The personality of the car changes, the throttle response is ferocious now, the steering, it weighs up, and the EQ is eager to lurch forward towards the horizon. It makes me believe that 4.9 seconds of 0 to 100 km per hour time is quite believable. Now, even the ride quality, it feels quite pliant and well absorbent. It has air suspension, and comparatively we drove in from the Srinagar airport to Gulmarg in a GLE, and compared to the GLE, since the ride quality memory is quite fresh in my mind, the EQE, it feels much more pliant. It absorbs everything nicely, it goes flat over undulations. We couldn't take it to the very bad roads that we might encounter in an urban jungle, but otherwise the ride quality, it is a good thing about the EQE. Now, this is an SUV, and we car buyers, we love SUVs because of their capability to go over beaten paths or take in those ugly large speed breakers in the city. or to go where roads doesn't seem to exist, something that is a limitation for the sedans. And that makes the EQE SUV have an upper hand or an advantage over the EQE or the EQS sedan. And to take things up a notch, Mercedes has also included a dedicated off-road mode in here. Now it does have an all-wheel drive with a 4MATIC, but it won't do a proper hardcore off-roading, that's for sure. But when things get bad, when you have to go where the road doesn't seem to exist, the EQE will manage that, something that the sedan counterparts will definitely struggle with. Now it's asserted that the EQE is an electric equivalent of the GLE, but in reality it is far from it. Firstly, the GLE still hasn't undergone a generation change. Internationally, there is a facelift which will come to India and will be more expensive than the current model. And there are the rivals. I never expected the space to have so many EVs competing so closely so soon. The EQE SUV enters a space in India which already have 3 cars. There's the BMW iX, a born EV, which is priced slightly less than the EQE SUV. Then there's the revamped or renamed Q8 e-tron from Audi, which is also available with a coupe SUV body style. And there's also quite forgettable Jaguar I-Pace. So at the end of the day, there are 2 ways of doing a luxury EV. On one hand, you have the BMW iX, which is quite bold and eccentric and in your face, and it's quite impossible to miss. And on the other hand, you have the Q8 e-tron, which is an understated luxury. It flies under the radar, but it's a solid package and it's hard to miss. And then there's the EQE, which is a good middle ground. It's not very eccentric, but very normal looking, which many of the buyers won't mind. And then the cabin, it's quite space-age looking, and it also offers all the features that you could ask for at this price point. And at this price point, it's also quite feature-loaded and practical, and it's very good to drive as well. So the EQE, it does all the things right and tick all the right boxes. So which side of the EV spectrum are you on? Do let us know in the comment section below. And that's all from this video, but before we go, do consider subscribing to the CarWale YouTube channel. And if you like this video, hit that like button and share it forward as well. And if you think the EQE is quite an expensive buy for you, do check out our video of the EQE's younger sibling or the more affordable sibling, the EQB, by clicking on the box to your left. And the direct rival of the EQE, the Q8, we have also done a video for it, and you can check out that video by clicking on the box down below. This is Bilal signing off. Until next time.